What's up everybody and welcome back to another video. Hope everyone's good. I'm absolutely fantastic, thank you for asking. So today we're going to do the full day in the diet. A full day in the vertical diet. Now, disclaimers, I'll probably do 90% vertical. People are going to go in on me for that because it's not a full send into the vertical diet, but I literally do like 90% of the day is like 100% within that plan. I'll mention the things that aren't 100% on the plan, and you'll probably be like, you know what, it's probably not a big deal if that's off the plan, because you know the foundations of the vertical diet are things like nutritional value, nutritional quality. So there are a few things here that just help me get a few extra calories in because I'm eating so much food. Because today's macro is going to be about 750 carb, 300 protein, and about 100 fat probably. So it's right around 5,100 calories. And this is what I've been doing for the last few weeks. I woke up at 120 kilos on the dot today, which is about 275 pounds. We're looking to try and push that up another 10 to 12 pounds or so by the end of this off season. And we'll be in a very good place, hopefully, coming into that pro season. Right, so first meal, it's gonna be very similar to normal. Who would have thought? I found a way around it. So normally I do like Warburton's bagels. Now I do sourdough bagels. So apparently sourdough is a little bit better on the digestion. Do I notice a difference? Not really. The bagels and jam in the morning with the whey protein that I've always had, or like I've had for the last year maybe, has never really given me digestive issues. So I wasn't too worried about not swapping too much of it out. So I got the sourdough in. We're then gonna have 50 grams of raspberry jam on the bagel, which kind of gives you about 70 carbs, something like that. Raspberry jam is not on the vertical diet, but it's literally just raspberry jam. It's not impactful. It's not necessarily nutrient dense, which is probably the issue with it for the vertical diet, but it's absolutely fine for some extra carbohydrates. We then have 500 milliliters of pure cranberry juice. Now he does say to try and get some fancy organic pure one. If I'm honest, I've not yet done that because it's like £7 a bottle and I have half a bottle or half a carton in one go, so I've just been using the normal ones. Don't judge me, it is what it is. Then finally, our final bit of protein for this first meal. Now naturally, I just don't have a huge appetite in the morning. I definitely get hungry as I go throughout the day. So I try and have these things that are super easy for me to digest and just not too much digestion going on. Have whey protein, and that in the vertical diet stand is very clear that you can have whey protein. We're having 65 grams here, which is 60 grams of protein. He's clear that you can have protein, but you should always try and favor whole meat because of the nutritional value. You know, that's it. Like the nutritional value of this whey versus like a big hunk of steak. The steak absolutely shits all over this. So that's why he encourages things like red meat from the nutritional standpoint. But for me, like I'm having 5,000 calories. I'm no doubt I'm covering my nutritional needs for the meal. So really, really easy meal. We've probably got 20 carb. I will do it on MyFitnessPal when I'm eating it. I've probably got 20 carb in the cranberry juice. We've got 60 protein in the protein shake. We've got another 80 carb, 45 carb in the bagel, and then like another 35 carb from the raspberry jam. So this is at least 100 grams of carbohydrates, 60 grams of protein, and probably 5 to 10 grams of fat. And that is my pre-workout meal, which I will also use my slow and my fast-acting insulin just before I have this meal. And that is meal one. Really simple, 1,000 calories. We'll move on to the next one. This is the technical way to do it, by the way. There we go. The trick to this is do half the side, and you can double it over, and you make a little sandwich. Perfect. Done. Alright, so the total macros on this, actually a little bit higher than I thought they were going to be. We've got 66 grams of protein, 105 grams of carbohydrates, and 3 grams of fat, so really not much at all. Meal one, 700 calories, or 800 calories. Let's get it down. So I'm sorry if this first part of the video seems like deja vu. Obviously first meal, very similar. In fact, it's just probably a little bit less calories than usual. But the next part of my ingestion of food, we have EAAs and highly balanced ingestion, which I use for my intra-workout. I've actually just switched to a non-flavored cyclic dextrin because I found that the sweeteners of the flavored cyclic dextrin were getting a little bit much. I don't know whether like we know that like things like, you know, sweeteners or, you know, additives into flavorings like this, they can like affect your digestion, and like I 100% feel the difference switching to this. This is like a fully unflavored cyclic dextrin with just a flavored EAA rather than both of them being flavored. Like I noticed the difference so much on my digestion. This is so easy for me to drink. This is like another 400 calories going in. So 20 carb, 20 protein, 60 carb, you know, 360 calories. You know, there's a little bit of research into combining both an EAA and a highly branched cyclic dextrin together to potentially mitigate some muscle protein breakdown in the phase of the day which you actually cause muscle protein breakdown, right? Because when we're training, we're breaking down muscle, you cause muscle protein breakdown, and the opposite of that being protein synthesis, you know, providing your body with some nutrition that it can take in there and then. You know, it can be, I kind of think of it as like in a scale, you've got muscle protein breakdown, muscle protein synthesis, like it can add a little bit to that synthesis scale. Is it going to be a game changer? Probably not. Is it going to be part of those marginal gains? Definitely. So that's one thing that's a little bit different, is we don't use the sweeteners anymore. That's intra-workout. I'm just going to sip that as we go through. That's pretty much it. And then we're going to go train now. Got leg day. We'll do that a little bit shorter than usual, and then we'll get to Alright, so today obviously it's leg day, fairly simple. This is not a training video, so we'll just tell you what we're doing. So we're going to go 2 sets on adductors, 2 sets on lying leg raises, 2 sets on leg extensions, 2 sets on the hack squat, 1 set, oh my god, on the leg press and then cuffs. Really simple, baseline volume. We'll add a little bit in as we go over the next few weeks. And all I'm going to do with my intra is I'm sipping this while I warm up, and I'm going to aim to try and finish this 20, 30 minutes before my session's over. Otherwise, I've got no need for it. So if you've got a pre-core hack squat, you can reverse band it like this. One side over one end, come around the back, through the other side, just up here, and then loop around again. And you have a reverse band. If you don't have this, you can use a daisy chain and carabiner just to tie it together. You guys have noticed I usually wear lifting shoes. I can't wear them anymore, my feet got too big, so growth hormone works. Also body fat. I noticed that when I get low in body weight, like 100 kilos, I can go down a shoe size. When I'm 120, I go up a shoe size. So we're back from legs. Still a little bit ropey. We're going to come in for post-workout meal. So post-workout meal at the moment has been the same every day for the last nearly 2 weeks now. So I got back from Croatia on Sunday 2 weeks ago. So it's like 10 days. And it has been 250 grams of dry rice. And then I usually go for around 200 to 220 grams of a steak. I've got a fillet steak here. I've been trying to find the best place to get steaks because it's really fucking expensive. So this one, because I didn't have a fillet steak, I quite like a fillet steak post-workout because I don't like that chewy fatness too much. So I've been buying supermarket fillet steaks originally, but like the organic or the finest ones. So I set my bar way too high. Then I was like, you know what, this isn't sustainable for the long run because it's quite a lot of money. So I went back down to like the basic ones, but it's just like rubber meat going back to it, which is pretty grim. So I then went to an online butcher that was in London. And I was gonna say they sent over, I'm so used to saying that. I bought these steaks. So you kind of got like a big old sirloin here, ribeye. And I probably bought about 10 to 12 steaks, which I've been making my way through. But even that was a little bit expensive as well. I think I probably spent about £70 on about 4 to 5 days food. So, you know, you do the math, you're paying 400 or 500 quid just for steak a month, which was a little bit too much for me. Don't feel comfortable doing that anyway. So this week, I'm not gonna do it today, but this week I've got a topside rump. So this is a 1.4 kilo joint. This costs £10 for the whole pack. There's probably about the same amount of meat as all 12 of those steaks. And I'm just going to put this in the slow cooker, which we've got, and cook that out. But for today, first meal is 250 grams of rice, post-workout meal, which is about 180, 200 grams of carbs. The next meal after this, the same. So we have a whole one of these bags. Straight in, put it in the rice cooker. I'll always wash my rice before. I don't know if you guys wash your rice, but I'll always give my rice a little bit of a wash before, just to kind of get that extra starch off out of the way. So I do, is it filming here? So I do the whole pack of rice here, and I just put this into the rice cooker. If you don't have a rice cooker, this is Rice Hunger from Amazon, and it probably costs 35 quid, but it's the best thing. The main reason why I use a rice cooker, cooks the rice best. I don't know what it is. I can be off by 100 mil or 200 mil and it always cooks the rice perfect. But not only that, if you cook rice, let it cool, put it in the fridge, it actually builds up resistant starches, which actually becomes harder to digest when you either reheat it or eat it after that, which can actually make you absorb less of it, so you have less calories in it. So that was something that I learned from the PDF of the vertical diet, was that you shouldn't reheat your rice if you're trying to get the maximum bang for your buck. Now there was no like, you're gonna lose 10, 20, 30% of the calories. It was, I don't know if there's a way for you to gauge that. I just don't do it. So I use the rice cooker. This cooks the rice, I chop it in half, put it on a plate, add a load of salt to it, and just do the same, and this will keep the rice warm all day. So really easy meal here. I'm gonna go and hit this steak up in about 20 minutes when this is done, and that'll be meal 3, meal 2. Meal 2.5, snacking it. So a big issue, I'm gonna say, with me is like my vegetable intake and my micronutrition. Now, a big benefit of doing this diet is that it's very micronutrient dense. Like actually just in the steak you get a fucking shitload of macronutrients. We also have carrots here. So these are just mini carrots. I'll do 3 of these raw, like I'll grate them for a lot of fiber, for some really good carotene, and there's obviously some other really good micronutrition in there as well. So I literally grate 3 of these carrots into every meal, and 2 of the meals are exact same. So don't come crying to me when the next meal is the exact same. So 3 carrots, 220 grams of fillet steak, 250 grams of dry rice, and salt all over it. So on to the next meal. We're obviously here with the exact same meal. I actually forgot to put my carrots on, so I'm going to put my carrots on after this. But we've got another 220 grams of steak. It's rump steak this time, so it's slightly higher fat content. And then another 250 grams of dry rice. And then you would have seen me put some oil on top of here. Now this rump steak would have like a little strip of fat around the outside. Now I'm probably only going to eat half of it. So the second half of it, I make up. I say make up. I add olive oil. So here we have here meal 3. It's 4:30, and this meal is another 200 carb exactly from the rice. It says 40 fat, but that's without taking off the fat, although I'm probably not going to eat. So probably more like 30 fat because it's got the 15 grams of olive oil on there, and then 60 grams of protein, with 45 grams of that protein coming from the steak. So a good nutritional meal. We'll get the carrots on after this. It's another 1,500 calorie meal. So I only have 1,100 calories left. I say only. That's another meal. I only have 1,100 calories left after this, and it will be 4:30. So plenty of time to get some more food in. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to chow down. See you at the next meal. So the first thing is we're watching The Bachelorette, and
How do you like it?
and it's knee bad. It's that trash TV you can't stop watching. So final meal. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I'd probably do like 90% vertical. And that extra 10% is usually at the end of the night, so that it doesn't kind of affect my digestion for the rest of the day. Just cover up that little receding hairline right there. But we've got 500 grams, half a kilo of purple sweet potato. For me, potatoes are really easy to get down to. Half a kilo is not too bad. Obviously that's pre-cooked weight, so raw weight. 150 grams of mince. Turkey mince. Obviously turkey mince is not on the vertical diet because of the lack of nutritional quality, but I'm not too worried about that. And then we've got like mixed carrots, green beans and peas for a scrumptious meal. And this ends up like, this is a hefty one, 150 carb, pretty much straight from those potatoes, 13 fat and then 60 protein. And I'm also going to cap it off, and that's including in that 60 protein is capping it off with a protein yogurt, and that literally leaves me out of breath getting to the fridge. Lovely. And also there's 10 grams of olive oil on there as well, which I forgot to put on, but that leaves me at 4,886 calories, so 4,900 calories, which is a little bit under, so I'll probably have a little snack to take me up to 5,000 in a minute, but we'll eat this first while watching The Bachelorette. So I ended up, this is the third one of these square bars that I've had today, which probably a little bit overkill, but it ended up being 75 carb. They're like 25 carb each, 20 carb each, so 60 carb. So I went over my calories by a little bit. It's not a bad thing. But again, this is not on the vertical diet. The reason why I eat it is because it's literally Rice Krispies, which is rice based, and obviously some sugar, which is I'm not too worried about it at this point. So there's lots of things that I think that are very, very good with this diet. I think the digestion point of it is really, really good. I think the assimilation of the food is really good. I feel like bigger, better. I feel better on this food. I feel more clear-headed, and I definitely think that for me the biggest thing is the digestion and being hungry. Like I'm so much more hungry on this diet. I think the negatives are probably the price of all the red meat, which is why I have like the turkey mince and whatever, because I think that swapping the meat just because of the nutritional value, like I'm not too worried about it, because I'm gonna cover my micronutrition elsewhere, whether that be supplements, whether that be vegetables. But other than that, like it's pretty, probably like the lack of variety, right? You get bored of that shit really quickly. Like 250 grams of dry rice, that's a lot of damn rice. A lot of damn rice, but I've got to do that twice a day, every day, and have done for the last 2 weeks. How long can I last? I don't know. There's definitely a lot more room for some more food. As you can see, I overate today. Like I'm pretty hungry still. I definitely think that the biggest take home for me is the clean food, and I think that's probably the biggest thing to take from this. Is it might not necessarily be the vertical diet that's making the difference in my hunger and my digestion. While it is, I actually think it's just the clean food, and I had stopped eating out so much. I started cooking clean foods, literally just really simple foods. I only literally use salt. That's the only thing that I use as a condiment is salt. Not only does it make me crave bad food, like not crave it, but like it makes me want it a little bit, so I can actually have a decent cheat meal. But it just it just goes through so easily. It digests super well, and I definitely think I'll be utilising this about 80 to 90% indefinitely. I'll happily change some of the vegetables, but more often than not, I'm just going to be sticking to these clean ass foods. That is a full day of eating the vertical diet. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Finished off like nearly another 400 milligrams of, or milliliters of cranberry juice as well. Something else I forgot. And that was it. Lots of food. about 750 carb, about 300 odd protein, and 1890 fat. So half a 10,000 calorie challenge every single day. Yes, please. Cheers, guys. Peace.